Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're doing some soldering. I bought one of these kits that you can buy online. This is a little game console, a handheld console. It's got Tetris integrated and some other games apparently, which I'm eager to find out. I've done one of these kits before on my other channel, but yeah, hello to everyone that is joining this new channel. So let's do it again. Let's see how we go. So we've got here some sort of a large IC, two displays that will display the game. Okay, there's some instructions here. Plastic casing. Okay, so this is how this will work. 4 buttons, and then here one and the battery pack. But I think this one can be powered by USB as well, if I'm not mistaken. The plastic casing might have some cracks, but seems to be minor. Okay, what have we got here? Seven segment displays. All the buttons are here. Let's put them all aside. And I guess here we will find some components. What have we got here? There's some wires, some clips for the battery. There's a USB port, a buzzer, screws, there's two capacitors, some sort of a switch, and maybe a transistor or a MOSFET, something like that. Okay, let's have a quick peek into the manual. But I think this should be fairly straightforward. Okay, yeah, some really nice instructions how to solder. Heat up the pad and the component from one side, and then feed the solder from the other one. So that's good. Okay, so the resistor, capacitor come first, and then the CPU socket, then the USB, and so on. And that electrolytic capacitor is angled. Okay, and also have to check the polarity, of course. So let's start. I'm gonna use this gizmo here, my little mount for the PCB. Let's get the orientation straight. Okay, it's like this. Alrighty, let's put in the capacitor first. There's a little marking for the polarity. So yeah, they're making it easy. Awesome. And then we're just gonna bend it over like that. Bend over the legs at the back. Easy peasy. Transistor is right next to it. There you go. And we have another capacitor. Goes down here. Come on. It's farting me. There you go. Okay. Bend the legs. And we should be able to start soldering. Alrighty, let's put it in the mount. I'll try to find links for all the gadgets that I'm using in today's video. The solder station is from Fnerzi. It's the DW200, I believe. Really nice soldering station, 200 watts. But I did buy a different tip. I like the chisel tip, the D. It's a D2.4, so I bought an additional cartridge for that one. Yeah, the focus is sometimes a little bit iffy on this one. On that microscope, which is from Tomloff 4K AF, I think is the name. Sometimes it just doesn't get the focus right, but it's good enough. We can see what's going on. Okay, let's heat it up, 350 degrees. There's some tin on there from when I turn it off, so you gotta look after your tip. You want to have it nice and, where are we? Nice and, oops, nice and shiny like that. That was a bit of a oopsie. And the soldering wire, we're gonna use 0.6 millimeter today from Mechanic HX T100. That's a leaded solder. Okay, let's start. Heat up the pad and the component from one side, feed in the solder, wait a little bit, and then pull away. That's basically the gist of how I solder. If you want to give soldering a go, absolutely, it's really relaxing. We all have challenges and pressures in life. When I solder, just like the solder, they melt away. And while I'm doing this, I forget about all the troubles. And I'm just enjoying working here. Now I'm visually looking at the microscope to do the actual soldering, but I'm also looking at the board with my eyes to initially sort of aim everything in the right direction, because this is not a stereoscopic. Actually, I'm at 375. Let me just lower the temperature to 350. It's not one of those stereoscopic microscope where you can see in 3D. Okay, I'm clipping those wires. I'll do the cleaning of the flux residue at the very end. There's no point doing it now. There you go. Let's flip it over. Let's see what that looks like. There you go. Okay, and now comes the chip socket. Let me see if we can zoom out a bit, because that's a huge... There you go. Okay, let's put in the socket. Like that. And then I'm gonna use one of the tricks I learned, blue tack. Blue tack is your friend for tacking components to the PCB and when we flick them over. So I'm gonna put a little one here in this corner and another one just over. Oh, that one is too small. Let's make a bigger blob just over here. There you go. And it's all ready to go. And this should be nice and easy. I might have to rotate this around. I want to come in from this side. There you go. Let's see if we can focus again. Beautiful. There you go. Another equipment you want to have is one of those brass ball thingies to clean your tip. But let's get on with the soldering. So heat it up from one side, feed the solder from the other one, and then wait a little bit. With soldering, everyone has their own little tips and tricks and how to do things. I'm not claiming this is the ultimate way, but if there's one takeaway from this video, well, this might be it. Especially for through-hole soldering, which is very straightforward. We're not fighting large ground planes or anything like that. It's as good as it gets. You can see here already some oxidation on the tip, so straight into the cleaning brass gadget. I'm sure it's got a name. I'll figure out what it's called later. Now, you also might be wondering, hey, what about flux? Should I add additional flux? In my opinion, for this kind of work, which is best case scenario, you really don't have to. The flux that's inside the solder wire is plenty. And also, how should I word this without sounding a certain way? I think not using flux will actually teach you to do a better job, get a better skill, because using additional flux, it can hide mistakes. So I encourage you to start with the basics. Even with the soldering iron, you don't need a fancy soldering station for what we're doing here. A very cheap solder iron will do the job. Just avoid the pointy tip. Those are not good. You want to have something with a larger thermal mass like this one, the D-type tip, the chisel. Very popular is the knife tip, the knife version. I don't really, well, not like it, but I think I just really like the D size, the D chisel. Okay, let's do the other side. These joints are looking wonderful. In terms of my philosophy, I believe start with basic tools, get your basic skills right, and then invest into nicer gear. That way you can appreciate it a lot more. When I started, I just had some goggle glasses for magnification. I'm older. I'll be 50 soon, so my eyes are not the best anymore, especially for seeing things up close and personal. So soldering a basic soldering kit like this one, yeah, you can do it with some magnification glasses, no problem whatsoever. And then if you decide this hobby is really for you, well, have a look at getting a microscope. And again, start off with a basic digital one, see how you go before shelling out top dollar for one of those stereo professional microscopes. Eventually, I do want to have one, but for the time being, this works wonderful for me. I've done some SMD stuff as well. Okay, as you can see, some oxidation. Let's clean the tip. I've done some SMD soldering already and worked absolutely fine. The solder wire that I'm using from Mechanic. Mechanic is a brand you can find on Chinese sellers, AliExpress, Taobao, Banggood, those websites. And I kind of really like that brand. They've got a good mindshare going on. And I've bought a few things from them. Tweezers, flux, solder wire. They've got the whole range, PCB cleaners. They've got lead-free, leaded. They've got low temperature, solder, everything. Okay, let's have a look. What comes next? Next is the USB. Okay, so I'll flip over the board. Remove the blue tag. That's for the next component. The USB. Okay, let's see where that one. Okay, that's on the edge of the board, so I have to remove the PCB. I'm just gonna set it up another way. As always, if you have something to add, maybe you know a different way, a better way. Maybe I'm doing something terribly wrong, and that's okay. You share your mistakes. I learn from it. Other people learn from it. It's a win-win. Okay, so let me see how that works. Where's the USB? Micro USB. There you go. I guess it's just like this. Okay. So okay, got it. We might not actually need some blue tack. We should be able to solder that straight on. So here I'm gonna try to put the tip flat so we have a nice large surface. There you go. It wiggled a little bit, but that should be fine. And then we'll do the other one. There you go. Let's flip it over. There we go. See if we can focus. Okie dokie, USB port is done. Let's have a look. What's next? The switch. There's a mechanical switch. I wonder. Okay, that one toggles between the USB mode and the battery, so it will be very close to the USB port. Let's have a look. Here's the port. 4 pins, I guess. Should be this one up here. Like that. Okay, where's my blue tack? Let's put one here. And where's the other one? There you go. That should be easier. I think I prefer coming in from the sides. That's much easier. Where's the port? Here. Okay. Here we just have to pay a little bit attention that we don't breach anything, but yeah, that's working great. Okay, easy. So far, so good. What is next? Okay, the 7-segment display. Let's flip it around. It's on which side? Let's have a look. Okay, it's the other way around. Should be up here. Let's see if there's some sort of an orientation. Okay, there's little decimal points there at the bottom. I'll move the blue tack. Blue tack. There you go. One on the right side, one on the left side. Wonderful. Flip it over. And here we go. Now this might be one of my very first videos on the channel. I'm just gonna flip this around. I don't like the angle. Whenever you feel like it's a little bit awkward with the soldering, well, definitely change the position. You want to be comfortable. Otherwise, you're not gonna. It's struggling to focus. See, this is the downside of autofocus. When it doesn't work, then it can be a real pain in the neck. Okay. Maybe I can see. Okay, that's clear enough. We can work with that. Yeah, this might be one of my very first videos on the channel. So I guess in a few years I will look back and maybe say, oh my gosh, I talk so much nonsense. And maybe my technique has developed a lot more. But I think the basics, once you nail down the basics, you're already 80% there. The rest is just little small tweaks, For example, with the solder wire. Yeah, a lot of people say, buy Kester and other expensive brands, but I'm like, I've never been like that. I've always been, no, I want to find a budget brand that's just as good or almost as good. And yeah, you can buy some really poor quality solder wires on AliExpress where the flux just spits and splatters all over the PCB. But you just buy 3 cheap ones and then 1 out of the 3 will be perfectly fine. And in my case, with the Mechanic brand, that was exactly the case. Okay, next come the big displays. Over here, let's see if we can zoom out any more, because these are really large. Okay, remove the blue tack. One here, one there. Might as well remove the plastic cover. There you go. Okay, you've got LED 1 and LED 2. Wow, these are huge blocks. So I can see there's a little. What are these 2 legs for? These 2, because now they will be covered. I'm just looking at the manual. Maybe they're not being used. It's not labeled what it is. I don't think I missed anything. I don't think I missed any steps. Yeah, so that's weird. Okay. Anyway, now the user manual says there's a writing at the bottom of the part somewhere. To get the orange, I can't see anything. Let's see if we can focus here. No, there's nothing here. So how do you know which side is up and down? Let's try the other one. Okay, this one has a writing here. So we can place this one. But the other one, okay, I can see this one has some little markings here at the top, and this one has the same. So we're just gonna use that as orientation. First one. And the second one. Well, worst case, what's going to happen is the graphics will be messed up, I guess. Okay, let's see if we can use the existing blue tack to lock everything down. I might need some additional one. you go. And another one up here. Let's do this side. Let's add another one. I want to be sure that this is all. And of course the focus is bad. Let's see if my camera is still recording. Yeah, the red light is still on. So I'm using a Nikon Z30, and at 4K this camera just overheats crazy and shuts off. But at 1080 I've been told it records non-stop. So I guess we will find out. Let me just check if Audacity is also running. It is. So should be fine. Okay. Where are we here? I think it's this. Okay, let's get the focus right. And let's start soldering. I need a new piece of wire. Same process. Make sure your tip is clean. You might have to add a little bit just to get a bit of wetting going on. This is not for putting a blob of solder on the connection. This is for thermal transfer. It's almost like thermal paste, because from the distance, you know, everything looks, let's add a little bit more for this one. From the distance, everything looks smooth, but when you look close, the surface is really rough. It's metal on metal, so there's not much actual contact happening. So the heat transfer is not very good. So by adding a little bit of solder onto the tip, we can make the heat transfer much better. There you go. So by doing a couple joints like this in the beginning, yeah, take your time. Once you get more confident, you can try to go a little bit faster. But sometimes I forget to keep the solder iron on the joint for a little bit longer. You want to see some sort of bubbles going on. Just a little bit. Not too much. And then you can pull out. There you go. Let's do the next one. So I can see some oxidation. Let's clean the tip. So yeah, you got to look after your tip. I see that happening a lot in videos and also on the Reddit soldering group. I've been binge reading that group recently. Also YouTube shorts and YouTube, watching videos about soldering and just, yeah, learning new tips and tricks. So you gotta look after your tip. And when you turn off your soldering station or you unplug your soldering iron, add some tin, add some solder onto the tip, and then you can leave it like that. Yeah, that looks after it. Everything is fine. Okay, almost there. I'm also curious, what soldering kits have you done? There are a couple out there, like there's an FM radio. Oh, I need some more FM radio. I've seen UV meters for music. I've seen just a collection of mini projects, you know, flashing lights, playing tunes, that sort of stuff. But this kit I really like because the Tetris game is actually pretty good. If you're bored, you end up actually playing it more seriously. So yeah, it's nice. There you go. Okay, let's flip it over, get rid of all the blue tack. There you go. That's probably a protective cover. Let's peel that off. Okay, displays are done. What's next? Buttons. Okay. So they're all here. I don't think we need blue tack for this one. They seem to stick somewhat, but we'll see when we flip it around, and if there's any wiggling going on, I'll tack them down. There you go. A nice clicking action. So let's see. No, I don't see any wiggling. They seem pretty well. Okay, let's get some more solder off the spool. And let's do these buttons. Clean the tip. And I'm on the wrong side. Let's flip it around. I want to come from this side. There you go. Okay. Here's the next one. Okay. Here we've got two buttons side by side. Oops. Slipped off a little bit here, but not a big deal. And one more. Okie dokie. Let's have a look. What's next? We've done the buttons. Okay. This transistor or MOSFET. Let's flip over the board. Should be. Let's get on camera right here. Oh, there's also a speaker. Let's see if we can. Oh, we should be able to do all these in one go. What else can I talk about? Yeah, it's actually, I didn't make a list. Some people are really good at chatting away while working. I'm more the type who focuses a lot. Okay, this one has a polarity. Plus is over here. Okay. I'm more the type I like to focus. So talking about stuff, not that easy. Producing videos. I can talk about the microphone. I bought a new one. I've got a nice dynamic mic for videos where I record the audio after filming. But for this one, well, it's much easier to just record the audio while you're working. It's a microphone from Boya Mini 2. So we'll see how that turns out. It's not going to sound as nice as a fancy dynamic mic, that's for sure. But as long as you can understand what I'm saying, that's the most important thing. And it has to be comfortable for me. I can't see myself soldering with a huge microphone in front of my face. It has to be comfortable. Life is hard enough. We don't need any extra challenges in our hobby. Gotta make it as comfortable as we can. Okay, let's clip all these legs. There you go. Let me just quickly brush over here. What's next? We've got the transistor, the speaker, and then insert the large chip. That should be easy. Okay, they mentioned tip it on the side to bend the legs a little bit. Okay, I can see one leg is a little wonky. Let's straighten that one out. Okay, here we go. Make sure that it's aligned the right way. Oh, I might need to take it out again. It looks like they're not inserted here the right way. I need my toolkit. I need a flathead. Let's go with this one. Maybe a smaller tip. Let's try this one. There you go. And that probably wasn't the smoothest. Let's see if we can pry it out from this side. Okay, I might have to bend the legs a little bit more so they are pointing to the inside a little bit. There you go. Okay, second attempt. Yeah, they look fine on this side. Yeah, much better. I think we got them all. That looks good. That looks good. Make sure we push it down. Okay, that chip is in. Wonderful. Number 12. Okay, put the buttons on. That should be easy. Remove the blue tag. I think they're all the same color, so should be easy. Okay, and what's next with the manual? Now comes the battery and the casing. Okay, there's a little bit of soldering going on with the battery compartment. So let me put this aside and see what we have to do here. Okay, we've got 4 pieces. And 2 wires. Okay, so battery compartment. How does this work? Okay, I think I got it. That was really annoying. Okay, so I think I got the battery compartment in, and then we need to solder one wire here and then the other wire here. So for this we will need some flux. First I will tin the connectors. Let's do this one first. There you go. And let's do the other one down here. And next I'll do the wires. So just twisting them, and then I will just tin them with solder. Let's see what the best way to do this. I think I'm just gonna put the iron down. There you go. Okay. Okay, that's done. We need to solder them on here. Okay, I will add some flux. And also on the other one. There you go. And then I'll also dip the wires into flux while soldering one. Okay, let's check if there's any color. Okay, black one goes here. Let's dip that one into flux. So this is what flux looks like, and then just dip in the wire. And okay, first one is done. Do the second one. Okay, that's good. And now we need to figure out where the other two wires go. Okay, got it. So must be on the underside of the PCB. Here we go. Okay, let's apply some solder to these pads. We add some flux. That should do the trick. I'm also gonna dunk the wires into flux. Let's do the black one first. And next comes the red one. There you go. That should do the trick. The black one, maybe I'll add some solder, but then I don't want it to fall down. So I might just secure that one with some, maybe actually I'm gonna secure both with blue tack. And I'm gonna go over both of them with some fresh solder wire, which has some flux inside, just to be sure. Beautiful. That should last. Alrighty, I think we're done with the soldering. Wonderful. I can turn off the station. Remember, turn off the solder iron and apply some solder on the tip. Insert it in the stand and we are done. Okay, I will clean up a little bit and then we put together our handheld game console and hopefully everything works. Okay, we are almost there. I assembled everything. Now we just put in some screws to put everything together. There are 5 screws for some reason, but I can only see 4 mounts. Okay. Let's see what power. Okay, it's got a micro USB. Let me find a cable and then we give this a go. Well, I guess here is the moment of truth. This is always a little bit worrisome when you put something together. Oh wow, okay, it fired up straight away. Let's have a look. Here we go. Okay, this is how you turn. Good, and then drop it down. Yeah, the buttons are all working. Let's see if we can clear a row. Wonderful. Yep, one point. Let me just get the camera a little bit closer. There you go. So all in all, pretty straightforward. By far the hardest part was putting in those little pins, whatever it's called, for the battery pack. That was really awkward. But everything else, pretty straightforward. So this is definitely a kit I can recommend if you're a beginner. And you've got something at the end that does a little bit more than just blinking or playing some tunes. You've actually got a little handheld console. Now, I believe there's a way to access more games, but I'm not quite sure. Let me just power cycle this device. Ah, there you go. So, okay, second game, third, fourth. I'm not sure what this means. Okay, let's try the second game. I think this is Snake. Some type of a Snake game. Looks like it even has some basic, oops, already dead, brightness. These can be, yeah, controlled with brightness. That's interesting. Okay, let's try the third game. Oh, it's a racing game. Okay. So just left and right. Can you speed up? No? Ah, you can speed. Okay, I got it. Oh gosh. Okay, good. And let's see what else is there. Ah, shooting game? Oh gosh. Wow, that's cool. Hmm? Okay, shooting game. What's this? Bright. Oh, it's a setting. Here you can adjust the screen brightness. Okay, and here. And maybe this is for the sound. Full sound, no sound. Maybe that's what it means. Let's turn it back off and on again. There you go. Well, there you go, guys. Success. So let me know what you think. Any recommendations, feedback, tips, leave them down below in the comments. Love to hear from you. And well, hopefully some of you out there get inspired. Soldering is a really wonderful hobby, very peaceful. It really relaxes you. You forget about all the life stresses, and it's just a wonderful hobby. So that's why I'm doing this, sharing the love. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll be back soon with another project very shortly. Take care. Bye.